DLS Wave back
again.
All right, today, new force Cheddar, right? We can't stop talking about Cheddar. Election is approaching really fast. Cheddar. It's a mean Cheddar. Ain't Cheddar. All right, so chiefs in Ghana, man. Chiefs in Ghana. You have any chief in your family?
No, not in my family, but I know some chiefs.
My mom is from a royal house, but women don't.
Yeah, so queen mother,
So
right?
she's a queen mother, yeah.
Literally, she's a queen mother.
She's a queen mother.
That is super cool.
She doesn't sit, but she takes a lot of responsibility.
But I think everybody sits once in a while.
Once in a while, but she doesn't wear all those stuff. She's the most senior now, so yeah.
All right, so we brought up this whole idea about a chief because there is a chief that's making waves in Ghana, right? He claims he had to sack Cheddar, that's his word, sack Cheddar from his village, his district, because Cheddar disrespected
the chief ball. Yeah, the chief ball. Continue.
Ball. Oh, okay. So the chief ball.
Yeah.
So in summary, the chief ball. That's
the chief ball.
All right. So I'm just gonna quote exactly what this guy said. He said recently, one of the politicians, I am told he's called Nana Kwame Bediako, came to his to this town and held a campaign at the lorry station. Now, lorry station, let's not forget, it's a word. It's a public space, but he said it's his town. So let's see. So without paying a courtesy call here at the palace, do you own this town? That's what he asked. Do you own this town? So what does that mean? Does he own this town? Because I mean, from what he's saying that it's his town. So Cheddar pretty much disrespected or disregarded his authority. So what is your take on that? I just want to understand what your take is on from just that angle.
Well,
being a chief in a constituent or in a district, does that make it your land?
Yeah, that's why it's the chief of the town. And in our culture, if you visit somebody's village, you have to pay a courtesy call to the elderly. The most elderly in that town,
district
or district or village or wherever. So from that angle, I think I will go with Cheddar should have done the right thing.
Due process.
Just go and see them some few minutes, and my brothers and my sisters, we know what they are looking for. Amamre.
Some schnapps they go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that is the angle the chief is coming from. He cannot say it, but I also respect the fact that he's calling it out because, listen, we have to respect our culture. The reason why I like Cheddar is look at the way his ideas, right? But you have to look from the root. So if you don't respect yours, you can have all those brilliant ideas, but people will not respect you because you don't respect your culture. So that is actually how I'm looking at it. I don't know about you, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think, paying a courtesy call, that's why it's called a courtesy call. It's not like a real visit, but just to... And it's kind of like you said, in our culture, the chiefs are the custodians of the land. So whatever you want to do, traditionally, you just go and say hi to the chief. But I think in this case, it might have just been an oversight. Or because he's on a speed lane tour. But I'm just thinking, if he has to go to every town and go and see the chief, because he's going 276, it's not a small thing, and see every chief, it's going to take a lot out of the... Because meeting a chief, he needs to summon all his...
We've talked about it here before. And that is I'll say the little qualms I have with his team and the way they do their things. That is why underground work is always important.
Yeah. People go
because you had a plan months before you decided to visit that town. So people on the ground, you have to get links before you get to a town. You need to your what do you call it? Your committee and everything. These things should be planned ahead. So I'm not putting I won't point a finger at Cheddar per se. If I have any blame,
the backroom staff, more or less.
They should be the ones to take.
He actually has a team that goes ahead.
The team. They should go ahead and do all the groundwork. Okay, in this town we meet A, B, C. As long as we get these people sorted, we are done. We can do whatever we want to do and continue your journey because you don't have the time and you don't want negative press.
But I also think that maybe the chief is not happy about it because we've seen videos of him visiting other chiefs, paying courtesy call, showing respect. Maybe he just feels like you're looking at me as a smaller chief or something. Because why have you visited other chiefs and you haven't visited mine?
And that is
So
why
that's where it's coming from.
Jealousy.
It's like, God, this guy know the respect.
Yep. All right,
The
so
chief board.
yeah, for me, it's okay. Let me think about it. I'm gonna unpack what my brain is kind of trying to process.
Yeah.
One, I think Cheddar should have done the right thing, like you said. I mean, there is no questions about that. You can't really excuse him from that. But secondly, don't you? Okay, we can also give him the benefit of the doubt. Like we said, he probably escaped his mind. There's a lot going on. You can understand that.
Yeah.
So his backroom staff can take the blame.
Yeah.
Okay, done. We get it. But the chief coming out to say, don't you feel like it's a bit audacious, right? Because what he said was, let me read something to you. He said, I drove him out of this town. Okay? And he said, if you visit my town to campaign and you fail to recognize that there is a chief here, then you cannot campaign on my land. What's with the my?
Yeah, he has to establish authority.
Yeah, but then let's not forget. Hold on. Let's not forget. Cheddar is a Ghanaian as well,
I get it,
right?
I
and
get
it's
it.
a public space.
No.
It's a lorry station. Okay.
It doesn't matter where it is. For me, like I said, I have family members and cousins who are in that chieftaincy thing.
Yeah, the royal family.
And one thing they do, although they have questionable characters and behaviors and actions, one thing they don't take for granted is
Respect.
Their chief, yeah.
just the recognition. That okay, when you came to my town, you recognized me. Maybe I might not even vote for you. I don't like you.
Yeah.
But the fact that you've recognized that there is somebody, a custodian, in this town, that is enough. That is why he's saying he's the chief in the town. Nobody has diffused that, right?
All right.
So he can say my land, my
Yeah, but he
my
could
land.
have also literally said, okay, my land and my people, but it's like my land, my land.
Yeah,
which
and that
a
is where
bit-
the jealousy thing they come in.
Yeah,
but,
more or less.
But the thing is, he has to establish some authority.
But I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Okay.
I do understand that part. Okay, this is gonna go for you. Couldn't you have kind of be a little bit more subtle and not called out the name of the politician in question?
Yeah, I think
Because I feel like, it tarnishes his image a little bit. Because the big question here is, would he have done the same thing if it was the big wigs?
That's
If it was
another-
Mahama or if it
yeah,
was
yeah.
Akufo-Addo, would he have done the same thing?
Probably might have, yeah.
Question number 3, I'm just making it a pack so you can just unpack it all. Does Cheddar's age come into play? Because he's a young guy, he kind of used him as a scapegoat.
I think like you're saying, if it was one of the big wigs like Mama, Baumia, Akufo-Addo, I don't think he could. Even if he could have said it, he would have just tamed his comments a little bit. But I think definitely it's the fact that Cheddar is young, and the chief. If the pictures I'm seeing are the real chief, then he doesn't look that old. So maybe he's older than Cheddar, but not
by
that
much,
older. But like he's saying, he just, as a chief, they wield a lot of authority, so he can say whatever he wants, and nobody will take anything against him. I think so. The age comes to play. Maybe he thinks Cheddar is a new entrant. He's an independent guy. Maybe he doesn't think he commands that much respect, and so he can say anything he wants to him. But for me, I think that's besides the point. I think that no matter what happens, being a chief, you also have to show how decorous you are. You have to be able to speak in a manner that communicates the same message, but in a very mindful way.
Yeah,
That's the
cordially
word.
respectful way. Because you want
Exactly.
respect, you have to give it back to kind of.
Exactly. But I'm just looking at on the side of Cheddar too. I think that, like you said, it's sending a bad message. Like you said, people pay a lot of respect to their chief. So whatever the chief says is what people are going to do. So my only fear is people who are very allegiant to their chief. This might draw people away from Cheddar. I mean, it might take votes away from him because in people's minds, it's just going to be like, oh, you came here, you disrespected our chief, and so we don't like you. That kind of thing. You know how people are
Galloway.
they can easily think that way. So I think that maybe at the end of the day, he all he can do now is send an apology, yes. And I think if he does it the right way, because just for the sake of getting votes, I think it's necessary he does that.
Yeah, for me, all the three questions you asked is on point, but you have to understand the chief. maybe he feels very disrespected, and people's reaction when they get disrespected are different. Although he's a chief, you understand. So I feel the team should have, the moment the video came out, they find a way, sit him down, apologize in front of I think it will even win votes, because for me, like you said, everybody, I don't want anybody to disrespect my king, whether he's the most stupid king or whatever, right? But in this period, this is not the kind of press you want.
Exactly, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So quickly, I hope they've apologized. If they haven't, your team should get up and do the job quickly. The king, or the chief has every right.
And they can have a very big influence.
Actually, I was waiting for somebody to bring up that word, right.
Yeah.
Because this is what I'm reading from the comment section, right? Somebody made the exact same. He's like, the chief has no right to ask Cheddar to leave the town. Why? Ghana is a republic, not a monarchy. Actually, Ghana is not ruled by kings or queens like the British,
in
right?
Our constitution,
Queens have a lot of power.
In our constitution, the government wills political power, and the chiefs will traditional power.
Yes.
So the constitution accepts the chiefs as the custodians of their land.
Yes.
And so the government can come with policies, but actually when the chief says no. It will not happen. The constitution actually allows the chiefs a certain amount of authority.
Yes.
So based on our constitution, we would say that he has the
traditional right.
He has the power to, because that's
one could also argue that Cheddar's also got
political right
to be there.
Yeah, but then that is where you have to
clash, right?
Other.
Yeah.
No, that is where you sit and then you say, okay, I'm coming to visit you, or I'm coming to visit your town for this particular project. Do I have the? Oh, you are welcome. But then before you get there, if you do not have time to see them, you have to go and pay courtesy call. That is what we said, the schnapps and those things. You have to just pay so that they recognize, oh, this person came to my town. Let's take it from this angle. Let's say Cheddar comes and something happens, right? People started fighting and something happened.
Yeah.
The first question would be, where's the chief in this town? Elders in this town, and all those questions. So you have to. I just feel I get the fact that maybe if it's a Akufo-Addo or Mahama, or maybe he might not exhibit that kind of power, right? But you cannot fault him. He wants to make sure nobody goes through his land or comes to his hood to misbehave or do stuff that he's not aware of.
And sometimes actually the chiefs also help in these things because like you're saying, if the chief, because usually after these things, the chief will maybe send his linguist and all that to announce that this is going to happen here. Everybody receive them nicely and all that.
Yes.
And like you're saying, it helps to keep them calm. Because people listen to their chiefs. Yeah. So like you're saying, something can easily happen and they will be like, I didn't know you were here. Yeah. So it's your own problem, that kind of thing. So I think it's kind of hard to say, but like it would have been normal for them to just meet halfway.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody's also saying the same thing. He's saying that it's just a courtesy, right? Yeah. You can pay courtesy or respect, but he's saying Ghana is a republic governed by a constitution, and everyone has the right of lawful assembly anywhere in the country.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, we do agree.
The same constitution also recognizes the custodian authority of the chiefs, and it's just been the normal practice. I mean, it's not like he's done it in many other places.
The thing is, nobody's kind of disputing the fact that the chiefs have some sort of authority over their land. We get all that. Yeah. But the point is, does he have the right to sack him? That's the word I think people got a problem with.
Right.
Sack. Because he's not just an average Joe, right? He's a presidential candidate.
Yeah. Actually, he said sack, but the person have left already. So where was the sack?
I think in terms of saying you drove the person out, that.
But I think that's what does not sit well with people. When you say sack him, it's a bit disrespectful. Just like you said in the beginning, right? There has to be some sort of decorum, some sort of a tone that is a bit more like soothing and calming to the entire society.
Listen, both of them can be right because of the constitution, but I just feel that Cheddar's team could have done better.
No doubt, no questions there. My only point that I'm trying to make is that Cheddar I think he made that reference one time about, in Ghana, how adults always kind of look down on kids, because if adults are having conversations, right,
It's true.
kid is not supposed to be around. It's like, how is the kid supposed to learn in this kind of circumstance? There, of course, there are instances when there's an adult talking, the kid should not be around, but it's almost like a kid do not have a say, right, or have the right to speak out their minds when adults are, even if they might have like some real good
But I don't know.
opinions, ideas.
Yeah.
So the fact is, you are, let's say, a chief and elder, right? So if a kid has pretty much wronged you, what would have been the right approach? Backdoor, that you could scold him, whatever, right? But it should not be this public. I feel like this is the problem with this.
Like you said earlier, I think he's just trying to establish his authority.
But you could do the same thing behind the scenes, right?
How will people know
what
that you are?
How will people
So it's
know?
more like to disgrace him, to embarrass him then.
Yeah, because
if you want to scold somebody, you want to assert your authority, you deal with the person directly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to also understand, we look at this modern age, it's through social media and that's the only way people.
That's the only way you shame people.
Yeah, you shame people.
Yeah, but that's shaming. That's what I'm saying. That is not really asserting authority.
Okay, is it shaming? It's just calling him out with a very high tone from a chief. You understand? He could have done it like the way you. But anyway, for me, I don't care. You understand? He's there. He wants to do. But the thing is, if I'm on his team, every town we visit, before we go there or before he comes there, our people should be on the ground and talk to the people, at least the key people.
I think
so
they're
that
pretty much doing that, right?
Because listen, I am coming from let's say I'm the king from that place, or the chief. Chief, let me use the word chief from that place. I'll feel very disrespected because when you are in Accra or you go to other places, and that's why we said jealousy.
But that's what I'm saying. Listen, the point is that we have a saying. Everybody knows that. Two areas what? Human. So far on the campaign trail, nobody's come up with a case like that. So meaning they're doing they follow due process. So if it's happened once, it might be an oversight. Somebody messed up, right? So I feel like we say in Tree, right? If your kid kind of doodles or poops on your laps, you don't cut it off, right? You just wipe it off and you move on. So you could have just handled this.
But I think that if you look at
a little bit out of the public eye.
We have to cut Cheddar a little bit of slack here, not a little bit, some slack, because I think he can't go to every chief. Like every town, every village has a chief in Ghana. If he's going to do a courtesy call on all the 275 chiefs, it would be so difficult.
It wouldn't.
And I think that he already went to the major chiefs. He went to Gamanche, he went to Asante, he went to the Takrady one, he went to Cape Coast, he went to the main kings, let's call them kings, and there are sub-chiefs. So maybe his team was thinking, okay, this town, I'm not disrespecting the town or wherever, maybe they were thinking this town is small. Once we've already paid our respects to the paramount chief, maybe we don't need to make a stopover at every chief's house. I don't know how big this town is, but the chief is claiming, from the response it made, he's saying that, my town is big, you should have paid respect to me. But I think if he goes to the paramount chiefs or the big chiefs, we shouldn't be too strict on.
No, listen, for me, I think he should. I'll tell you why. Two reasons. The first reason is Cheddar is new. So you don't need to be stepping on toes.
Okay.
But I don't think he's stepping on toes.
No. I'm
purpose.
coming from that angle.
Okay.
I know it is not on purpose. So, two, he would not take 2 hours there, right? You go because of your timing. That is why I'm not pointing a finger at Cheddar. It is the team. I'm pointing my fingers at. They should go there. Okay, Cheddar will come here. Because we are traveling 270 something, we are just coming here. We'll come and see you for just 40 minutes or 30 minutes. Just come, greet them, some few minutes, tell them what you want to achieve in the shortest possible time. Get out, go and do your thing 1 hour, sit in your car, and then you're out.
Away bus.
Even though they might not vote for you this time, 4 years ago, 4 years time, they will remember. And that is all. That is where my
away bus. Yeah, let's wrap it up. My thing is that there's something called reaching out, and I feel like this is an era we live in that people just have, like you say, they want the 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for this incident, we wouldn't have heard about this guy, this chief, this town. Nobody really knew them.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, I understand Cheddar might have, or his team might have, messed up a little bit, but you could have just reached out to the team, reached out to Cheddar, right? There's always a way to kind of like solve things amicably behind the scene without making everything, public. You know what I mean?
The reaching out, yeah. I don't have a problem with it personally, but there are people who, when they find out that this Cheddar went to your town as a chief, he didn't show you any kind of recognition, and then you went chasing him, they will say you are running after political money. So it
depends on how you reach out.
People will say that.
No, but that's what I'm trying to make it. People will say that only when it comes into the public, spectrum. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to.
Now everybody's using phones.
But people are saying the exact same thing right now, that he is mad because Cheddar did not, grease his palms. That's
exactly.
What people are saying now.
Whichever way he goes about it, people will still point a finger.
No, I think if he reached out privately, I think he would have.
Maybe he saw the that big box that Cheddar took to German. He was like, "Why did you get my box?"
Where is my box?
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. So that's about it for now. We ran out of time. We thank you guys for your precious time, right? You could have been doing anything at this moment with your time.
Watch out for the next video.
You decided to come check us out, and for that, we do really appreciate it. So we'll be back next time. Peace.
Abanagi.